strange land.
Argentina has the rich plains of the pampas, or woodlands, in the northern half, flat, rolling plateaus of Patagonia in the south, and rugged Andes along the western border. The soils are gray and black with the subsoil of loess or lime. In the west, there are sandy soils. The soil is low in nutrients because in the winter the rains lynch the soil. As a result, the primary agriculture in Argentina is cattle grazing and sheep.
The greater rhea lives on the pampas and open woodlands in the southeastern part of South America, and is related to the ostrich and emu. Although they live in the woodlands, they avoid open places and prefer areas with some tall vegetation. Their long legs help them spot predators over the tall grass of the pampas. Greater rhea play an important role in the food chain. They are omnivores and they prefer eating seeds, roots, and fruit, but they also eat insects and small animals like lizards, frogs, and small birds. They only have a few predators beyond the jaguar and cougar. The Andean cat, or the Leopardus jacopedus, is endangered. They live in rocky and semi-arid zones of the southern Andes of Argentina above the timberline up to 4,000 meters in altitude. The Andean cat is both a secondary and tertiary consumer because they prey on birds, chinchillas, and other small mammals that are either primary or secondary consumers. They are endangered due to habitat loss from extensive mining, resource extraction for fossil fuels, and cattle grazing, and are protected by National Law 22421 of Wildlife Conservation, which prohibits hunting and trade of the Andean cat. The ceibo is both the national tree and flower of Argentina. It grows on the banks of the Paraná River and Rio de la Plata River, but it can also be found near lakes and swampy areas around the country. It has top roots that go deep into the ground. These roots not only allow it to be drought tolerant for the dry summers, but also it is often one of the few trees left standing after a hurricane. It plays an important ecological role supplying shade, nectar, fruit, and many other necessities for wildlife.
The average temperature ranges from 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 51 degrees Fahrenheit in Buenos Aires and Cordoba, and 75 degrees to 46 degrees Fahrenheit in Mendoza. Further south, temperatures can drop to below freezing in the winter. Rainfalls range from 39 inches in Buenos Aires to less than 20 inches in Mendoza. The north is characterized by very hot, humid summers with milder winters and periodic droughts, while central Argentina has hot summers with tornadoes and thunderstorms and cool winters. Major cities of Argentina include Buenos Aires, Mendoza, and Cordoba. Besides visiting these culture-filled cities, we suggest you stop by Iguazu Falls, a series of magnificent waterfalls, Glacier National Park, which features the world's largest ice caps outside of Antarctica and Greenland, and last but not least, Bariloche, a picturesque town with Swiss architecture. To visit during Argentina's spring, September through November, or fall, March through May, when temperatures are mild, and to avoid the rain in the winter and the chance of wildfire in the summer. That is characteristic of the woodlands and shrublands. Because temperatures can be chilly in the morning and evening and hot during the day, during the fall and spring, we suggest you pack layers to keep from sweating during the day and being freezing during the night. Also, comfortable shoes are a must.
Cities in Cameroon are Douala, Yaoundé, Garoua, Kasseri, and Bamendi. The places you want to visit in Cameroon are Mount Cameroon, Waza National Park, Karop National Park, and the Ja Faunal Reserve. Temperatures in Cameroon typically range from 20 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius, but in the rainforest, the temperatures are around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Cameroon also gets a lot of rain, getting at least 250 to 400 centimeters of rainfall a year.
The Triplocaton scleroxylon is a large deciduous forest tree that usually is 45 meters in height and 1.5 meters in diameter. Its bark is ashy gray or yellowish brown and usually smooth in younger trees, with fissures in older trees. It has colorful petals and a pleasant, strong scent, which is an adaptation to help attract many insects to pollinate the trees. The tree plays a huge role in the rainforest by creating smaller subsystems for lichens, insects, and other small animals. The Cercopithecus neglectus, or the de Brazza's monkey, is an old world monkey found in Central Africa and is one of the most widespread African primates that live in forests. The Brazos monkey generally has gray fur with a reddish-brown back and a distinctive orange crescent-shaped marking that appears on its forehead. The Brazos monkey has robust feet and large cheek pouches that serve for fruit storage. They also have large incisors to better eat fruits from the trees. The Brazos monkey contributes to the environment by increasing local biodiversity by spreading the seeds that it eats. Gorilla daily, or its more common name, the crossover gorilla, lives in the rainforest along the Nigeria-Cameroon border. They mostly stay in the highlands in steep, rugged terrain. Their diet mostly consists of fruit, tree bark, leaves, and herbs. Gorillas play a huge role in biodiversity since they travel through large areas and spread seeds of the fruit they eat. These gorillas are endangered because initially many were hunted, and now their habitat is being destroyed. They also will not nest near any human population. There are wildlife laws that protect these gorillas. In fact, many of the remaining cross-river gorillas live in the Takamanda National Park and the Kagwene Gorilla Sanctuary. More specifically, wildlife is governed mainly by Law 94-01, which prohibits hunting of endangered species and prohibits certain areas from hunting whatsoever.
Cameroon has a nice cool and dry period between November and February, but Sahara sands blow over between November and February, so you don't want to come during this period. It's very rainy between May and November.
Sudan is mostly a flat, featureless plain where a desert dominates the north, with sandy soils in the northern and west central areas, clay soils in the central region, and laterite soils in the south. Sudan is indeed suitable for agricultural development, especially in the central region.
The average yearly temperature ranges from about 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit and reaches about 108 during the summer, and the rainfall yearly averages about 47 inches.
Must-see cities in Sudan include Khartoum, Omdurman, and Port Sudan. We recommend you visit sometime in August or October so the weather is not so hot. I recommend you bring strong shoes for walking, loose cotton clothes, and a light shawl, and maybe some binoculars to see the wildlife.
The African white-bellied pangolin, or the Pantagines tricuspis, is an endangered species for the desert. They dig deep burrows big enough for a human to crawl inside and stand in. Some also sleep in the hollows and forks of trees and logs, threatened by loss of habitat due to expanding agriculture and other human uses. All 8 species of Asian and African pangolins are listed under Appendix 2 of CITES, which means trade is regulated and monitored under CITES. Permits are required from exporting countries for any trade activity. To issue a permit, the exporting country must determine that this activity will have no detriment to the wild population. So we can conserve these animals and cause them to not be endangered anymore. Animals and plants indigenous to the subtropical desert include the zebra-tailed lizard and the Bactrian camel, both protected from the harsh desert conditions. And plants include the prickly pear, which has a flat surface of normal leaves, which provides area for water loss, and the trichomes, which creates a microlayer of humid air around the plant, particularly in the vicinity of the stomata.
There are many amazing places you can visit in the great country Sudan, some of which include the fascinating pyramids of Meroe, the National Museum of Sudan, where you can learn all about its history, and you can visit the huge Jebel Barkal mountain found in 13th century BC. Come to Sudan!
Howdy! The terrain of the temperate grasslands in the Midwest United States is mostly flat, the flattest part being the Great Plains. This area is known as America's Farm Belt because of its rich soil, some of the most productive agricultural soil in North America.
One endangered species found in the Midwest United States is the black-footed ferret, or as the scientists call it, the Mustela nigrips. Massive hunting and poisoning of the prairie dog, its main food source, caused the ferret to decline. These furry animals live in burrows of the grasslands, and their niche is to control prairie dog population as they ruin land and carry disease. Thankfully, the black-footed ferret are protected under the Endangered Species Act of 1973 and have a species survival plan in place by the Wyoming Department of Game and Fish to restore their numbers. Also in the temperate grassland Midwest, you'll find the beautiful leguminosia, also called sunflower. They have highly developed root and flower systems to adapt to the varying climates and get the sunlight that they need. Who wouldn't want to see that? If you love large grass-eating hoofed mammals, then the Midwest is the place for you. Bison are everywhere. They love the temperate grasslands because they take full advantage of the various grasses and have specially adapted digestive systems to process those grasses.
Annual temperatures range from 0 degrees Celsius in the harsh, cold winters to 30 degrees Celsius in the hot, dry summers when wildfires are common. An average annual rainfall ranges from 30 millimeters to 150 millimeters. The winters and summers are very harsh. The best time for you to visit the Midwest is in the spring when the flowers are in bloom and everything is beautiful and green. When you come, be sure to pack layers to adjust to changing temperatures. Hiking boots and t-shirts for the occasional heat wave. You have to visit the beautiful Windy City, Chicago, the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, and the magnificent lakes of Minneapolis when you come to the Midwest.